Hello everyone. As Jack Reacher's second film draws to a close, a well-liked fan speculation about the second season of the show is both much too apparent and most likely accurate. Reacher Season 2, which is based on Lee Child's Bad Luck and Trouble, has the show's lead character in the heart of a plot to destroy his old, personally chosen army regiment. Reacher, a vagrant from his post-military days, has been on the loose since the counterfeiting case in Margrave, Georgia, in the first season. Jack discovers that one of their old friends, Calvin France, was killed when he receives a distress call from Francis Neagley, Reacher's fellow former military police officer. France's death, thrown from a helicopter when it was soaring above the Catskills, was not an accident. As it happens, Neagley and Reacher think it's only the beginning of a string of killings that will go after the former members of Reacher's 110th Special Investigations Unit. In contrast to the small-town drama of Reacher Season 1, the show's second installment places Reacher at the heart of a potentially fatal plot, which makes things much more personal. Furthermore, Season 2 demonstrates that Jack Reacher remains mired in the past, in contrast to his friends. Reassembling his former group, Reacher is confronted with an unsettling notion: maybe one of their own members betrayed the group. The legendary Special Investigations Unit included Jack Reacher, who hand-picked his 110th comrades, Neagley, the late Major Calvin France, who looked up to Reacher, the frequently sardonic David O'Donnell, Carla Dixon, an ex-MP who loved numbers, the music-loving late Tony Swan, who later worked for defense contractor New Age arms specialist Stan Lowry, and the assassinated buddies Jorge Sanchez and Manuel Orozco. O'Donnell stands out among all of these characters, and not in a positive way, as only a small percentage of them are still alive by Reacher Season 2, Episode 5. David O'Donnell often points the finger first among the 110th members who have been reassembled. A character who is eager to point the finger at others in a murder mystery novel often has something hidden. But fans have also called attention to other striking scenes from Reacher's second season that seem to suggest O'Donnell isn't entirely honorable. To begin with, Reacher presents O'Donnell to Swan at his upturned flat, claiming that it had been plundered before to his arrival. It appears quite opportune that O'Donnell later discloses that he and his family were enjoying an unplugged weekend when France was killed. It's questionable that he was able to locate the last 110th. Without a doubt, O'Donnell has improved since the second season of Reacher. Rather from being a Reacher-esque figure, O'Donnell serves as a counterbalance to the big guy. O'Donnell is married with children. But Jack Reacher is stuck in his military past and has adopted an unsettling, untraceable vagabond lifestyle. The former MP may engage in blackmailing the government of Washington, D.C., but otherwise, he seems to be the kind of family guy Reacher chose not to become. However, painting O'Donnell as a family guy is an easy way to suspiciously label him, maybe too easy. It would be too evident if O'Donnell was the murderer. Aside from the overall blackmail, O'Donnell ought to be employed by New Age, if only to get a reliable salary. Should he be engaged in illicit weaponry sales, his 5-member family would undoubtedly be supported by his profitable but unlicensed side business. Although the main suspect in Reacher Season 2 seems to be someone else entirely, there's a remote possibility that O'Donnell was also engaged in the contraband case from the previous timeline, or maybe he took some lessons from it. By now, the hints that lead to O'Donnell may just as well be red herrings or careless writing. Not necessarily for the bad, but he has changed from the novels. Other strange things that happen in the first few episodes of Reacher Season 2 suggest that O'Donnell is not a trustworthy person. Firstly, he provides his burner phone number to one of his kids. Most of the time, O'Donnell's speech seems like code. For example, just before the motorcycle gang battles the 110th, O'Donnell states, "Hands are for helping, not for hurting." As one Reddit user put it, this seems to be code for no guns. Perhaps when O'Donnell tells his family he's going to take on some bad guys, he means the 110th. The awkward conversation and burner phone event might, of course, be the result of sloppy writing. It would be unfortunate if Reacher's story deviated from the novel just to lead to a glaring revelation, especially because Lee Child was engaged in the creation of the Amazon Prime Video series. It wouldn't be gratifying to have almost any member of Reacher's hand-picked 110th Special Investigations Unit turn on the series' main character. The show needs a greater twist. Jack Reacher has made it clear that he doesn't think any of the people he personally chose could betray the group, since doing so would contradict his sense of self and intuition, which he always possesses. Although it makes sense from a character standpoint, Reacher should steer clear of that cliched action movie approach. In Reacher Season 2, it seems more and more like Hortense Fields will be the genuine traitor of the 110th, as the inquiry reveals more secrets regarding Little Wing, New Age, and the killings of many ex-MP officers. Hortense seems to be a top suspect, From the character's forced debut in Episode 3 to Fields' clumsy appearances and later flashbacks concerning the 110th's early days, Fields' appearances are merely strange set dressing if he isn't participating. The Hortense Fields twist would also eschew the cliché of Jack Reacher being betrayed by a member of his own hand-picked squad, since Fields was never a member of the 110th. That being said, O'Donnell is not entirely exonerated even if Hortense Fields is the Reacher persona from his past who is responsible for the deadly plot against the 110th. Reacher season the second of may be set up to sell out the 110th, or his old family, in order to protect his wife and kids if the show want to implicate O'Donnell in a manner that doesn't entirely undermine his character. O'Donnell may not have been personally engaged in the killings in that sense. That type of twist reinforces Reacher's argument about the perils of settling down in a corrupt system and is even consistent with David O'Donnell's present job in political blackmail.